for her extraordinary courage in pioneering leadership, in pushing the boundaries of tobacco control. It is truly a pleasure for those of us at the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids to honor Nicola Roxon with our 2012 Champion Award for Global Achievement. Please join me in welcoming her to the stage.
Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction, and thank you so much, not just on my behalf, but on Australia's behalf, for honouring our decision to pursue this important change in tobacco control. I'm really delighted, and I have to say humbled, to be given this award. To share an award like this with Howard tonight is a great honour. To be here with the likes of Matt and Michael Moore and many others, upon whom really our changes stand on their shoulders of the work that's already been done. And I want to really say an enormous thank you to the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids and all of you who are here supporting that campaign so actively. It gives countries around the world, countries that you know, some people in this nation aren't necessarily quite sure where they are, the confidence to be able to take these decisions and know that there will be support, not just in their own country, but in other countries, particularly those that you work with extensively across, particularly now, the developing world. This has been a long fight, and there's still a fair way for us to go in Australia, particularly now with the litigation. But it's been a very satisfying fight for us to be involved with in Australia. And I want to, again, say thank you to those who've spent your entire careers already fighting against the harms caused by tobacco. And I want to especially acknowledge those young leaders who are at the start of their careers in tobacco control, the next generation of campaigners and advocates. And I have a message really for both of those groups, those hardened campaigners and those new young people here tonight looking at ways that they can contribute to this debate. An award like this does, and the action our government's taken, really could not have happened without the work of others. And I know that our work will be followed by many other innovations that people right in this very room tonight will pursue, not just here in the US, but around the world. And I want to encourage you to do that. Of course, tobacco smoking and the tobacco industry is a global menace. And that means we really need to have a global response. And it means the information that's been shared on a night like this between countries, between advocates, is of vital importance to what we do in the future. And I hope it means that you can share in some of the sense of satisfaction that we feel for taking this step when you know that other steps will be taken here and elsewhere. I do want to emphasise, particularly because of the great work that the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids has done, I want to emphasise that in Australia, one of the main reasons this was possible for us to act is because of the very strong advocacy from the non-government organisations, from the cancer councils, from the medical profession, from the Heart Foundation, from our public health researchers. And that work and the building of community consensus, something that you do so well in this campaign, is really what gave the Australian government social permission to take this action. We'd already banned advertising, we'd already banned sponsorship, we'd already restricted point of sale. So those young advocates who are campaigning to do that in their state can look to other countries like Australia and see that there is no advertising at the point of sale in any state in Australia. So this was the important next step for us to take, but we couldn't have done it if someone just turned around and said, can the government take this action? We were given the support, the encouragement and the advocacy from groups just like yours And I really want to encourage all of you who are involved to stay involved, because it is the thing that makes governments change their decisions and be prepared to take action. I don't want to say too much more tonight. Some of you have already heard me speak today at Georgetown University, and that speech is on the internet. I thought it was an important thing to do. We've learnt some lessons so far, and there's more to be learnt. We've valued very much the help and assistance that have come from others who've been through this process, and we hope that by setting out some of our challenges that people will also benefit in the future. But I do want to emphasise that our plain packaging measure was not taken in isolation. It was taken following those other changes. It was taken at the same time as increasing our tax excise. It was taken at the same time that we've launched new programs targeting Indigenous people who still smoke at a much higher rate than the rest of non-Indigenous Australia. And we have significantly reduced, just last week in our budget, the allocation for duty-free tobacco, now just down to 50 cigarettes. But we didn't want that loophole to be a way that people could get around our laws. So I'm really proud to be here. I'm very grateful that the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids has seen fit to make this award to me, but more importantly to the people of Australia who have campaigned so hard for this change. It might seem like a small number to you, but in a population about the 10th of the size of America's, 15,000 Australians still die each and every year from tobacco-related disease, and we can reduce that number. I was only 10 when my father died of cancer of the esophagus. 35 years ago, people weren't really sure whether that was tobacco-related or not. He was a smoker, and I think everyone in this room would know that that link was there. I see no reason for us to have other people go through that trauma when it's preventable. So I want to say this fight has been a big one. It still has a way to go in Australia. We very much appreciate your encouragement and support, but I want to add my voice to everyone's in this room. If there is something that you can do in your day job, if there's something you can do as a volunteer, if there's something you can do by donating funds, if you can contribute in any way to reducing the number of deaths and disease caused by tobacco, then please do it. It is actually an area where we can make a difference. Thank you so much for honouring me tonight.